Hello, everyone. I am Special Agent Fox Smolder of the FIA, and they told me to read this prepared statement. For those of you new to this program, the events of this show are 100% true and are recorded live as the events unfold before me and my partner, Special Agent Tom DeWeese. Due to this and the overall graphic nature of the circumstances we often find ourselves in, this show is not for youngsters. So put them to fucking bed or something. All that being said, enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of LCP D&D. Where we last left our heroes, they had gotten new information from a Patty Jonas, letting them know that Strahd von Zarovich had been released upon Farport. Our heroes have decided that they are going to make their way to the Baudelaire's apartment and do a little bit more investigating. What will they find there? I mean, probably some vampire stuff. I don't know. Find out next on LC D&D. How you guys doing?
Doing all right.
Doing good.
So, let's just take a second to introduce the characters. So, Brian, would you just remind everybody who you're playing?
Actually, I forgot. I gotta pull up all my sheets and everything. I don't even remember who my guy is.
Oh, right. I'm playing a game that involves rules. I should probably get the thing that tells me about the rules.
My character is Thomas DeWeese. He's a priest. He wears all black. He wears a hat all the time. Why? Because he's bald underneath. It embarrasses him. Kind of hinders his game with the ladies. Not that he really is supposed to have game with the ladies, because he's supposed to be a saint, but you know how it is. He's got a club, or a mace, and a handgun of some sort. I don't know. Is it a Colt 45? What is it?
He's got a club too, if you know what I'm saying.
Which he never uses because he's a priest. And that's his voice. That's his character. So,
Chris, would you like to introduce your character real quick?
Yeah, I play Special Agent Fox Smolder, and he's from the town of Farport here, over on the east, and we're on the lookout for some vampires, and we think they might have done something real bad. So we're investigating. We also brought with us the Greenhorn here. Why don't you introduce yourself?
All right. I am Vaughan. I'm taking control of the character Tristan. He's up and coming, rootin' tootin' greenhorn, as they say. He's from out of town, looking to make his name in this nice city we've got here that happens to be infested with all manner of supernatural beasties. Wears a straw hat with a turkey feather in the headband, black vest, white cotton shirt, black pants, and younger guy, good with the ladies.
As we saw in episode 2.
Yeah, as we saw in episode 2. And that's about it.
Yeah, I didn't know we were going to be explaining our couture here. And
I was just following Brian's lead.
I'm head to toe in Versace, and or whatever the Versace equivalent would be in this area.
So, where we last left off, you guys were planning on heading to the Baudelaire's apartment. Is that still the plan?
Yes.
I believe so.
All right. So you guys immediately go and grab a carriage from the parking garage, and one of the officers helps you hitch up the horses and all that stuff and get ready to go. It doesn't take that long, and you immediately start making your way towards the Pale Touch confinement. These confinements, are spread out throughout the city. They used to be all one confinement, but then they realized that made organized crime way too easy. So instead what they did is they moved all of that organized crime into different neighborhoods so that it could affect an even vaster majority of people. So Now we're kind of dealing with the fallout of that decision. So think of the projects in Chicago, but fantasy, steampunk, Blade Runner-y stuff? Yeah, let's go with that. Anyway, so you guys get there, and you get there, and all of the buildings are these really tall, high-rise apartments made out of this drab gray concrete. There's very few windows and only 2 entrances. There's a double door at the front and a double door at the back. And there are 2. Now, Tristan, you would know because you were just one of these not that long ago. The patrol officers, they're called browncoats. And there are 2 browncoats guarding the front door, and you would assume that there's probably a couple at the back door, but you guys are at the front right now. You don't recognize either of these browncoats, Tristan, but you know that a lot of agents in the FIA don't really have a whole lot of respect for these lowly beat officers, and so you tend to try and treat them with a little bit more respect because you understand what it's like. And so, yeah, you guys are outside of the apartment complex. You got these 2 browncoats, checking IDs and stuff of people that are going in. What would you like to... Oh, and you know that the Baudelaire's apartment is up on the 6th floor, and there are 10 floors to this apartment complex. What do you want to do?
All right, well, Tristan being his confident self, he sort of elbows lightly one of his compatriots on their shoulder. Or not the shoulder, he's not that tall. Probably just their arm. Nudges them gently and sort of nods over to the browncoats, and he says, look, how about, I'll go talk to these guys. They're my own. I know them. I can get us in here.
Yeah, well, knock yourself out, kid.
Hey, what are you guys doing here? One of the browncoats says that to you as you're approaching.
How's it going, boys? Doing good tonight?
Yeah, it's hot. But
It is hot, I know that feeling.
Could be worse.
It could be worse. It looks like you guys are doing some good work out here.
I mean, pretty much just staring at the street and waiting for something to show up, you know?
Well, better than getting shot at, am I right?
Facts fired, if you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Well, me and my friends here, we're just trying to do a little work tonight. Would you mind if we had a look in this here apartment complex?
Just gotta see the badges, quick.
All right, Tristan whips out his badge.
Yeah, he looks at them and nods and lets you guys go up. I mean, he doesn't even really inspect them that thoroughly. The fact that, you talk to him with good rapport right off the bat kind of put him at ease pretty immediately. So, yeah, they just let you right past. He tells you, though, just know Brian's still up there looking for clues, so knock first so you don't scare him.
I flashed the guy my club on the way by. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's a nice club.
You want to see my mace next?
I brush off a little bit of dust off of his shoulder.
So would that be a 40-40 club with ESPN on the screen? That was a Jay-Z dirt off my shoulder joke for anybody that didn't get that.
I did not get that.
Perfect.
Yeah,
So thank you.
So yeah, you guys head inside. Do you want to take the lift or do you want to take the stairs?
I want to take the stairs.
I'll take the stairs.
Tristan will take the lift.
Jinx.
Okay. So the way that these apartment complexes are set up is there's a shaft in the center of it for the lift, and the stairwell basically spirals around that shaft. And other than that, it's literally just a straight hallway with the exact same dimensions for every single apartment. And if you do bother to walk all the way to the end, you know that there are 20 apartments on every floor.
Roger that.
All right. So you guys start making your way up the stairwell. Tristan, you go and ring the bell to summon the lift to come back down to you. And so it's probably going to take you a few minutes before you're going to get onto the lift. So I'm going to go ahead and deal with Tom and Falk real quick.
Sounds good.
So The stairwell is quite wide. It's 12 feet wide, going all the way up on the landings and on the stairs itself. And they, again, like I mentioned, they spiral around the lift, and you can hear the lift humming as you make your way up the stairs. Again, everything's made out of concrete, very gray and very drab. Think kind of like a prison, but without any barbed wire. And you find yourself on floor number 6 after maybe 10 minutes of walking up the stairs. And Tristan, your lift arrives. But what would you guys like to do?
Well, I'd like to roll a perception, like, before I actually go out of the stairwell and into the hallway.
Well, and
Gotcha.
I want to ask my standard 400 questions real quick.
Please do.
So I remember we already searched their apartment once, right?
Well, no, you found them at their apartment, and then they ran, and you immediately chased them.
Oh, okay, then that cancels out my 399 more questions.
Well, that's perfect. And makes me very happy.
So when we chased them, did we chase them down the stairs, or did they get in the lift, or, like, did they jump out the window? How did that go?
They jumped out the window, and I don't know, how did you guys get down?
I just went down the stairs.
Yeah, in that situation, I think I probably would have taken the elevator.
Okay.
Hold up. We're doing a chase scene, they're running away, and you take the elevator?
Well, they jumped out the window, and the stairs are going to be slower.
Have you ever seen the Blues Brothers when they're going to deliver the check to Cook County, and they're in the elevator, and they're fucking snapping their fingers and clapping their hands together and just kind of fucking waiting? That's how I picture Falk while he's going down the lift chasing these fucking vampires, and Tom's just on the bottom like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck?
I'm like looking at my cuticles and shit, like
This isn't a brand new World Trade Center. This is like an elevator from the 1800s. It's not going to be faster than running down the stairs.
Oh, it's definitely
I don't know. Some of those old ones, like, will surprise you. But anyways, as soon as the elevator doors open, I bolt out, and then it catches Tom by surprise. So I turn around and I'm like, "Come the fuck on! We're chasing them now!" And and then we continue pursuit. But I guess now we're in the real time. We're not in a flashback anymore.
Acted out a flashback. What the hell?
Yeah, but I'm gonna roll a perception in that stairwell, see if I notice anything.
All right, while you're rolling that, I'm gonna go over to Tristan. Your lift has arrived, so you get on it and you move the selector lever over to floor 6, and it takes a few seconds before the door closes. It takes another few seconds before you feel the lift actually start to go up again. It's very slow, kind of jerky. Like you can feel it bouncing as it's slowly going up, as the gears are raising the large lift. So what was your result? Oh, sorry. What, you want to do something, Tristan?
Oh, he's just going to react to that somewhat unstable ride, just by kind of glancing around somewhat nervously, wondering as to exactly how well this elevator has been maintained. Start sweating a little bit.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not the most stable ride you've ever been on. What was the result of your perception check, Falk?
That would be a 6.
Oh yeah. So you can hear the sounds of it sounds like a couple arguing. Maybe you could just hear the kind of muffled coming from one of the apartments. But other than that, you can't really make out anything else.
Is that apartment on this floor?
You don't think so, actually. It sounds like it's probably coming from above you.
I just rolled a 12 perception.
You can hear the faint sound of someone playing violin over the sound of the arguing that's going on above you.
Phew, glad I rolled that.
All right, so I'll enter the hallway. Where we enter the hallway from the stairs, how far away from the apartment that we're looking for is it?
Okay, so they're in apartment number 5, so they would be back towards the back towards the front of the building where you guys would have came in if you were still on the first floor. And you would estimate maybe 50 to 75 feet down the hallway. Like, these apartments are not very big. You remember them to be, 1 or 2 bedroom apartments with like galley kitchens, and you know what I mean? Like, they're very run down, small, and drab.
All right. When I get up to their door, I run my hand across the top of their like kind of door sill to see if I feel anything.
I can't exactly say I blame the vampires for trying to get out of here.
Yeah, not peak living conditions for sure, but you never know what they came from. Could have been even worse than this.
You find a key up above the door sill.
And then I'm going to try that key in this door to see if it's like, the same one.
Oh, yeah. Goes right in.
Okay, so it fits that one.
I thought the guard said that there was a dude in here searching already.
Door's closed.
Doesn't mean he was good.
He's still inside,
Oh,
though?
he said to knock first. I unlock and go right in without knocking.
Okay.
All right, I follow behind.
So, why don't you guys both roll me a perception check, and while you're doing that, I'm going to go over to Tristan.
Oh, shit.
So, Tristan, you, as you're riding this elevator up and you're starting to get closer to your floor, you just saw the 4th floor go past very, very slowly. And you're starting to hear the muffled sounds of an argument and a myriad of noises kind of going around it. It sounds like a lot of people live in this building. And because of the construction of it, it seems like things really seem to echo throughout this building. But yeah, you finally arrive at the 6th floor, and the door slowly kind of creaks open. And what would you like to do?
Well, Tristan just saunters out of the lift and looks both ways until he spots Falk over the distance, opening the door, and heads over there, heads that direction.
I step back, and I see him coming, and I say, I think we got this covered. You want to go check out that fight up there, Christian? See what that's all about.
Tristan kind of stops, and gives him a weird look, and looks behind him, and asks, "Who are you talking to? Who's Christian?"
Oh, I'm sorry, Kirsten. What?
He means you, Greenhorn. Get up there.
Tristan can't help but roll his eyes. Now, what the hell do you want me to go up there for? It's probably just 2 lovers having a lover's quarrel.
You just tell him to keep it down.
I don't know if I want to get involved in that.
Hey, it's probably 2 witnesses that might know something about what we're trying to look up here.
I decide that if he's gonna be a whiny little bastard, I'm gonna go do it myself. So I go up up the stairs.
Okay. We'll deal with you in a second then. So, what was your perception check, Falk?
So, I rolled a 4, and
Okay.
I'm just, like, opening the door straight open and being like, all right, Brian, put your little dick away. We're coming in.
Okay. So, you step in, and you walk in, like, 4 or 5 steps, and you trip over something, and you look down, and there is a huge puddle of blood and a brown coat laying face down in the center of it. There are scratches, and his arms are bent in very sickening and unnatural ways, and there is blood everywhere. The fact that you contaminated this crime scene is super unimpressive. Like, you should have absolutely seen this.
Oh, my God. I call
And Tristan, you totally see that happen, by the way.
Very impressive detective work, my man.
Yeah, thanks. Quickly go down to the bottom and make sure nobody fucking leaves this place. And then after I give that command to Tristan, I call into my little message thing in my wrist or whatever, and call back to HQ. There's another fucking body in this apartment. Get the people down here. Get the folks down here to close this place off. Oh fuck, dude.
Roger that, Agent Smolder. We'll send somebody down there as soon as we have officers available.
Thank you.
Tristan, despite his sort of smart aleck attitude, sort of recognizes what a serious situation it is, and can see that it's a brown coat. He knows he's sort of been in that situation before. So he, despite the back talk, he follows orders and runs back down. Takes the stairs this time and runs back down to the lobby and tries to set off a cordon as best as he can.
Are you gonna try and get those other brown coats involved or nah?
Yeah, that's a good idea. He'll head over to those brown coats at the doors and let them know what's up.
Hey, what's going on?
Afraid to tell you that one of your boys is lying a puddle of his own blood up on the 6th floor. Make sure no one leaves this area.
Of course. Was it Brian?
No confirmation on his ID yet, buddy. We'll figure out and let you know as soon as I can.
We're gonna fucking get these assholes though, right?
You're damn straight.
All right, yeah, no, nobody's getting out of here. You got my word.
Good man.
So let's go to you then, Tom. You are up the stairs, and you can hear that the yelling is coming from the opposite end of the front entrance. So towards the higher numbers, like the teens and and number 20. And it sounds like the yelling is coming from apartment number 14.
I go over and I'm walking kind of stealthily up against the wall, and I have my I've got one hand just kind of on my pistol, and I put my ear to the door once I reach it. Not perfectly to the door because it would mess up my brim of my hat, but I just listen in.
Yeah, no, you can hear, stupid bitch, I fucking kill you. And yeah, this is definitely the apartment. And then you hear the sound of maybe glass shattering.
As soon as the glass shatters, I try the door handle.
It's unlocked.
I throw it open and I draw my pistol and I I walk in.
Hold on. I just got the visual of you like kicking in a fucking door and then skipping into the room like fucking.
Oh, like it's
John went,
or some
well,
shit.
what do we have here?
FIA. I'm here to investigate some fae.
I'm rolling a perception and I get 18.
Oh yeah. So inside of this room, so the way that the room is set up is there is a galley kitchen off to the left back corner of the room, and then the rest of it is just basically a giant living space. There's the table is flipped over, all of the chairs are flipped over, and you see that a large green-skinned half-orcish man has, not much smaller, but a little bit smaller than him. He has another green-skinned orcish woman, and he's got his hand cocked back as though he's about to deliver a blow, and then he looks over at you and puts his hands up immediately. Because I would imagine that you have your gun out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Yeah, he puts his hands up immediately.
I slightly raise one eyebrow. Domestic troubles?
No, everything's fine.
So what caused all this?
You know you gotta have a warrant to be in here,
Yeah, you can feel free to report me, but I believe I asked you a question.
Look, I mean, sometimes we have arguments, and it's not anybody's business, okay? It's just not your business, so please just get out of here.
I flip over a chair and I sit down and I say, listen, we can call the boys in, we can deal with this war and stuff. If that's the way you want to go, I'll call them in right now. Or we can just talk.
What do you want to know?
I would like to know what went on here. What are you guys arguing about?
Listen, man, sometimes I go down to the local speakeasy, and maybe I play cards there, and maybe I might have lost a little bit of money.
How long have you been here today? Were you here a few hours ago?
No, I was playing cards.
Who is he with right now? It's a lady?
Correct. And she looks terrified and isn't saying a word.
He's an orc. What is she?
She's also a half-orc.
Okay. How about you, miss? You got anything to say to me?
She kind of looks over at him and looks back at you and looks back at him, and she just shakes her head no.
Listen, buddy, why don't you step outside, give us a moment. And I fiddle with the cock of my gun, the hammer.
The cock of your gun? I fiddle a little bit with the balls of my gun.
I'm sitting here in a Discord channel with 3 gun enthusiasts.
Not the labia of your gun, right?
No.
I gently rub the nipples of my gun.
Man, I wish I could find my gun's clitoris.
You know the gun orgasm? It probably doesn't even really exist.
Holy fuck. I don't remember where we were at all now.
He just sent the half-orc female out of the room.
No, the male, right?
The male.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
He kind of glares at you for a second, but you can tell that he's probably thinking whether or not it'd be worth it to charge you. And then he kind of shakes his head and grunts a little bit, and he walks outside.
Okay.
Why don't you make me a perception check real quick before you start questioning her?
It's a good thing he didn't have a premature discharge.
I got the same roll.
An 18?
Yeah, 14 plus 4.
Okay. Shit, yeah. So you hear slow steps for a second outside the door, and then immediately after the door closes, you hear heavy footfalls of somebody running.
I don't really care.
Okay. So let's go back to Falk.
All right. So I just tripped over this body of the brown coat. I take a pin out of my jacket and start kind of lifting up on the clothes to see if I can find a cause of death, like, you know, whether he was stabbed or bludgeoned or whatever I can gather from that. So should I roll that investigation?
You don't even have to.
Oh, okay.
You easily can tell what the cause of death was. He was manhandled by something incredibly strong. Like he was attacked by something with hands and opposable thumbs, and was scratched very deeply, and, you know, like I said, his arms and his legs have been broken into sickly angles, and it almost looks like he was tortured to death.
Okay, and these scratches, were they like, do they appear to be from like a human-shaped sort of hand, where there's
Yes.
going to be 4 lines in a row? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Like, would Falk know Brian, or is that just some rando brown shirt, or whatever, brown coat, brown shirt?
Hold on 1 second. Actually, you've seen him around before. When you and Tom were working a case a few years back, involving some dwarves smuggling some magic items in, you recall that he took one of the suspects in for you, and you went and had a drink with him afterwards, but didn't really talk to him much after that.
All right, so I do recognize that the body is that of Brian.
Yes, sir.
All right, and then I guess I'll kind of take the pin and poke at the blood on the floor to make sure, like, see if it's like coagulated yet, or you know, how fresh the kill was.
It is incredibly fresh.
All right, so and this is right inside the door, right?
About 5 feet. You know, you had enough room to
5
open
feet
up
in.
the door, and that's about it.
All right, and then was he laying face up or face down?
Face down.
And then which direction was he facing? Was he like parallel to the door, or?
So he is. Would it be horizontal to the door if, like, let's say the door was a straight line to the back wall, and he made like a T to cross it? Would that be horizontal?
Well, perpendicular. Yeah.
Or yeah, he's perpendicular to the door then. Yes, perpendicular. Right. I mean, he's kind of, you know what I mean, like a slight angle, but you know what I mean, like not. He's basically perpendicular.
All right, and then still kind of using my pin to not leave prints. I don't know if they dust for prints in this world or whatever, but, does he still have, like, his wallet on him and stuff like that?
He does.
Okay. I guess I'll take a look around the room and try to look for broken windows, broken,
Okay, so why don't you
other
roll me
things.
a history check real quick, please?
Okay, history. Oh, natural 20.
Oh, nice. Okay.
All right.
So one of the things that you notice immediately, so when you guys originally came here and the Baudelaires fled out the window, they all jumped out the same window. There is a second window broken. You also recall, which, by the way, there literally were, if you would have gotten you would have had to get a 22 in order to remember this. So your natural 20 is super fucking lucky. You also notice that the luggage that was stacked up on the kitchen table has been thrown to the side. And you're pretty positive that some of the bags are missing.
I'm going to sort of radio down to Tristan, and
Okay.
Since he left while I was still doing all this, have you made it downstairs yet?
Yeah, I made it downstairs. I let the other brown coats at the door know that to not let anybody out. We set up a cordon as best we could. What's going on up there?
All right. So the windows that they jumped out of, would it be on the front of the building where these brown coats kind of?
No, it would be on the
have
side
seen
of the
something?
building.
On the side of okay.
Because if you remember, the hallway goes straight down the center of the building, and all of the apartments are off to the left and right of this hallway. And the hallway basically just runs from the double doors at the front to the double doors at the back. And so unless it was a corner apartment, it would be impossible for it to have windows towards the front.
All right. Ask him if they had seen anybody just kind of acting suspicious, moving away from the building in the last few minutes. It's been probably recent. They might have had luggage with them.
Recent suspicious activity with luggage. Got it.
I mean, we ain't seen nothing till y'all showed up.
In that case, Tristan will walk back over the brown shirts. Or brown shirts. The brown coats.
I did it too.
The brown coats and reiterate what.
Are you sure we should be working with these guys? They're fucking brown shits.
Are we the baddies? So he asked some if they've seen any suspicious activity in the or people walking around with an absorbing amount of luggage, perhaps.
I mean, we ain't seen nothing real suspicious till y'all showed up. I mean, we had a drunk half-orc, and then another drunk half-orc actually just ran past us not that long ago, but I thought we were looking for vampires.
We don't know what we're looking for right now, except that they got blood on their hands.
But wasn't it vampires what did that over at the station?
As far as I'm aware, yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean something else could have killed your boy.
Fuck. This ain't good.
You're telling me. Tristan, not sure what else to do. He kind of sort of just turns away. And can I do a perception or investigation to see if maybe he detects anything unusual in the area?
Yeah, absolutely. And Falk, I also would like a perception check out of you.
All right. Let's see. 17.
What about you, Tristan? What'd you get?
Just an 8.
All right. So, other than the fact that you're able to find some weak spots in the foundation, nothing else interesting. However, Falk, you notice that this apartment has been tossed, and not in a way that FIA agents or even browncoats would do. You know, like, things are not... It's like there's almost no rhyme or reason to how this place was searched. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like somebody was looking for clues. They were looking for 1 or 2 specific items.
Oh, okay. First things first, what I want to do is I would remember which window was the one that is the newly broken one, right?
Yeah.
All right, I stick my head out of that window, and rather than looking down, I
Before
look up.
you do that, roll me a d20. And add dexterity to it, please.
16 plus 3, 19?
So you hear the sound of a hammer being cocked back, and you immediately throw yourself to the side as you hear a huge explosion behind you, and you see pieces of the wall start to fly, the wall and window frames start to fly in different directions as you hear the whoosh of something moving super quickly past your face.
All right, like as I'm diving down, I'm already saying into like my little wrist speaker thing, shots fired in the apartment,
Copy that, Agent Smolder. We'll have officers there as soon as possible.
As soon as I can, I get my gun out and start to look around to see if I can see where the shot came from.
So I'm gonna pause and move back to Tom, because we're gonna deal with Tom talking to the lady, and then he's gonna hear the gunshot. Tristan, you definitely heard the gunshot. You don't even have to roll. Can I assume that you're already heading upstairs?
And he just draws his one of his revolvers and starts running up the spiral staircase.
Gotcha. So we're going to move back to Tom. We're still probably 5 to 10 minutes pre-gunshot. Tom, what's going on, buddy?
I don't say much for a moment. I pull out a tin container and I open it and pull out one of 5 thin cigars, and I gesture it out towards her.
She nods her head and reaches her hand out and takes one from you.
I do that, and I get one for myself, and I light both of them with a match. And then I say, your husband?
Yeah. He gets angry when he's drunk.
How often does he go out?
Well, since he lost his job, almost every night.
Do you know what places he frequents?
There's a speakeasy run by Donnie Smiles. Maybe 12 blocks from here.
What's the name of it?
It don't got a name. You're not supposed to know it exists.
Have you ever heard your husband, perhaps in his drunken states, mention anything about his business, the people he hangs out with, what's going on?
Okay, so one of the... she does tell you, however, the address of the speakeasy. And if you guys recall, you've already been given 1231 East Barovia Drive. Same address. I'm sorry, can you repeat the question, please, Tom?
You ever hear your husband, perhaps in his drunken state, ever mention any of his business, the people he hangs out with, anything that goes on with him?
Well, I mean, nobody's going to ever know that I talked to you, right?
Correct.
Well, I don't know if you know Donnie, but ever since the Coven went under, he's been making moves. And now that he's got money, he holds a poker game. And you know, it's mostly the vamps, but 'cause you know, they got blood. Like not the synthetic stuff or the animal stuff. Real human blood.
I fiddle with my cigar. Does the name Strahd von Zurovich ring a bell?
No, who is he?
If you don't know, it's probably better that you don't know. You know Donnie well? Have you interacted with him? Has he ever been here?
No. One of my friends, Nicolette, she said that her brother was running with Donnie. She was real worried about him.
Did Nicolette live in these apartments with you?
Yeah, just downstairs.
I'd like to ask you to come back to the station with me.
Can I go separate? They can't see me going with any law. I'll never survive. I'm telling you, if they see me with the law, they will kill me. I'll go, but I gotta go separate from you.
Why don't you meet me there this evening?
Yeah, okay, but, I mean, please, you've got to promise me that nobody's gonna know.
There's a back door. If you wait in the alley, I'll meet you there.
Yeah, all right. I'll be there around 8.
I stand up and
Wow!
And as soon as that happens, I drop my cigar. Are we on the same side of the building? The rooms?
Yeah, because I said that the Baudelaire's apartment was number 6, right?
5.
Oh, number 5? No, then they're opposite sides. Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna have to leave then. I mean, I can tell it's not from my side of the building, so yeah, I'm gonna just bail.
Okay. So, back to you, Falk.
All right.
So you're prone. You've called it in. You turn around, and you see there is a pale figure with long white hair holding a double-barreled shotgun. He's got on a pinstriped suit with a pocket watch. He's very finely dressed, unlike Jean-Luc. Like this man has well-tailored clothes that are well laundered as well. Could I say well more times? Welly, welly, well, my droogies.
Sorry, did he burst through the inside wall from the hallway, or it blew open from the outside, or what? Where was the explosion?
So,
I mean, he must have been hiding in there. I don't know that Falk cleared the area, did he, before starting investigating?
he did not, no.
He was already in the room with him?
Correct. That's why we rolled that perception check to see if he would beat my stealth check.
Oh.
So, you said that this man has white hair?
Correct.
Okay, there's no scar from, like, around his Adam's apple, is there?
Nope, not that you can tell.
Okay, because, yeah, that was a man with black hair, too. Okay, so, or black hair instead of white hair. Do I go ahead and roll initiative?
You can, if you're planning on just shooting back, then yeah. But if you want to do something else, then maybe not.
Yeah, I'm going into attack. I just got, shot one blast, and so I assume the double barrel shotgun is another coming right for me. So,
well, then I'm gonna have everybody roll initiative, then, please.
Okay. Oh fuck. So
So you're going first, is what you're telling me.
Oh yeah, obviously. So 8.
Oh fuck! The victory cry of so many.
Sorry, I can't really remember how to...
So initiative is a d20 plus your dexterity modifier.
Oh. Well, it could be worse, Riley. You're going before me. I got a 5.
You got a 5? Okay. Tom at 5. Is that your initiative roll, Vaughan? 8?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool. Thank you. What's your dexterity, Falk?
Just the modifier?
Yeah.
+3.
Okay, so Tristan's gonna go before you then. And my hearty 10 with this vampire means he goes first.
Yeah. and Tristan would still be at the bottom of the stairs, wouldn't he?
I got a long way to run.
Oh, yeah, dude, and I mean, realistically, because if you recall, I said that it took you about 10 minutes to get up those stairs. There's a reason that I mentioned how long it took, because I figured you guys were going to split up. Got to get that shit canon. So first thing that is going to happen...
Before you say that, has a long rest happened between last episode and this episode, or am I still going on?
You're still going on. You guys haven't stopped at all.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, just knowing how much MP I have.
That is super lucky, because I'm going to go ahead and assume that a 12 does not hit your armor class.
No.
Oh. So, you watch as he just glowers at you, pulls the trigger, because I don't know if you are familiar with old-timey double barrels. There's actually 2 triggers on them.
Yep.
And you see him pull the second trigger. You watch as the end of the barrel erupts with smoke and fire, and you brace and grimace for the pain, but none actually comes. And you breathe a quick sigh of relief. Tristan.
Okay, well, Tristan is just running as fast as he can up those stairs.
Give me a con check.
Constitution check?
Please and thank you. This is just to see how winded you're gonna get. Ooh. Pretty winded is the answer. So you are up. You're on the landing in between the second and third floor right now, okay?
Okay, well, I was wondering, can't I use 2 actions? Like, because I'm obviously not in combat, can I use my movement action and combat
That is
action
me
to
having
move?
you do that.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
Falk.
Alright. So, first thing I'm going to do is cast True Strike to get a brief insight into his defenses and gain advantage on my first attack roll against the target.
Okay. Do you have to roll for that, or can I just give you the information?
That one doesn't have any sort of roll attached to it.
Gotcha. Okay, just making sure. So you hold out your finger and quick channel a little bit of magical energy, and immediately you start to hear whispers in your brain telling you that it seems as though this guy is probably not very smart, but is incredibly dexterous and very strong. You know that, as with all vampires, shooting the shit out of them is very effective, but radiant damage is the most effective.
Alright. So...
And good thing your radiant damage guy is upstairs.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Actually, that's not very good. Okay, so I'm going to quicken my bonus action to an action.
Okay.
And for 2 spell points, and then I'm going to cast the level 1 chromatic orb as a level 3 chromatic orb, and hit him with I guess lightning damage. Let's see, 16 plus 7. So
I'm sorry, you cut out. It was what plus 7?
16 plus 7. So what is
Oh,
that?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 23. Yeah, and then let's see,
Chris taking all the
lot
good
of
rolls
dice, so I'm gonna let's see here. And so 28 times 2. So I just really fucked this dude up. It's 56.
Yep. All right. So you hold out your pistol that's attached to the pack on your back, and it immediately starts to make a loud like winding up sound, like, and then it launches out this orb of pure energy and force that just starts flipping through all sorts of different colors. And as it gets up to him, it immediately flashes blue, shocks him. He starts convulsing, falls to the ground, and is smoldering there. That's funny that I said that. And is smoldering there with just small wisps of smoke coming off of his body, and he is not moving.
Oh, fuck.
That was anticlimactic. Although, on the other hand, that shotgun is so fucking dangerous that if I would have hit you with both barrels, you probably would have died. So, It's probably good that you got him down in one shot. Here I was so excited to get a sneak attack on you, and nope, nothing. So yeah, he is, his suit is badly singed, and he's laying there in a heap with his shotgun kind of thrown off to the side of him, to the right.
You're grounded.
Oh my god.
So just after you say that, Tom bursts into the room.
Are you all right?
Hey, don't sound so excited, huh? Yeah, I was just shot at a couple of times.
I look down at the steaming pile on the ground, on the floor. Looks like you grounded him.
Looks like no Nintendo this week. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, he's having a worse day than I am. Oh, fuck. So yeah, I guess he didn't really jump out the window.
Let me just tell you guys one thing that you notice now that things have calmed down a little bit. Falk, one of the doors to one of the bedrooms off to the right-hand side, if you're coming in the door, is open now, whereas before it was closed. And you would assume that that's where he came out of.
All right. So,
Did I hear everybody over the intercom as they were talking?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay, so it's a channel for everybody.
Yep.
Okay.
And Tristan, you bust in the door now too. Very winded.
I
think he came out of that room.
Right. He's wheezing and panting, of course. Very winded. And he mumbles to himself, I should have checked on those fucking people yelling in the opposite room.
Yeah, like, I point at that door and I'm like, yeah, I think he came out of there. And then I still will go over to the window and look, like, up from it, just in case, like, he wasn't the only one that was, in this apartment, during all that. And I want to look for any sort of sign of, like, where they might have broken through the window but then climbed up.
Okay, so you look up and you can't see any really telltale signs of anything. However, when you look down, you can see that you can see basically 5 small holes, like punched 3 inches into the concrete. And it basically looks like he scaled the wall by just fucking damaging the building and
hey, Tim.
Climbing up it. Yeah, what's up?
Oh, so he climbed up.
Yes, correct. What's up, Brian?
Can we say that a few minutes after the gunshots have already stopped and everything's calmed down, the violin starts playing again?
Oh, yeah, dude, absolutely.
It's like another day at the project.
Will you please find a violin sample to add in?
Okay.
It's got to be that one from Gangster's Paradise.
Oh.
Yeah.
As I walk through the confinement where I look at my vampires.
All right, and so I guess I turn back around and start heading towards that room that the pale man came out of.
Okay. So inside of the room, there are 2 single beds, one in the left-hand corner, one in the right-hand corner. And on the bed that's in the left-hand corner, there are 2 suitcases sitting on it. And there are 2 dressers, bureaus, wardrobes, whatever you want to call them, with mirrors up on top of them. Those are in the close corners of both the left and right. And it seems, and you see a lot of like female clothes kind of strewn about the room.
I guess I'm gonna go and inspect the suitcases first. Before I open them, though, I'm going to roll like a sort of perception to try to check for traps. Would that be a special type of, I guess, investigation?
Yeah, just roll investigation. That's fine.
I was going to say, Tristan's probably going to start helping clear the room, and sort of looking for clues or anything. Should he also roll for investigation?
Yes, please.
Yeah, 13.
You don't think that the suitcase is trapped. You're having trouble thinking of a way that it even would be.
Oh, okay. So then I, flip up the thing.
So inside of the suitcase, so that's a 9 you got. So did Tristan go to the other room then to search that one?
Yeah, he started clearing rooms that people weren't already in.
Yeah, so there are only 2 bedrooms, one on either side of the apartment, and then a small water closet. And so you kick open the door of the one bedroom, you do a quick scan, and you don't seem to see anything except for a king-sized bed, a much, much fancier wardrobe than was in the other room, and there aren't really any clothes strewn about. It seems like whoever stayed in this room was a little bit more fastidious and neat. However, I'm going to go back to Falk. So you lift open the suitcase, and inside of it are vial upon vial of a red, thick liquid. I mean, it's just filled to the brim with them.
All right, and I can assume that they're probably that red vino, that blood stuff.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for LCD&D. We will be back not next Thursday, but the following Thursday from now. And we hope that you'll come and join us in our investigative adventures. You can follow me, Tim, the Dungeon Master, at Ida Grab Your Gun. I'm the Twatters.
Yeah, you can follow me at Chris Riley LCP on Twitter. Or I guess at Chris Riley LCP. I'm new to this Twitter thing, y'all.
Manly Brian on Twitter and Snapchat. Brian_Bridges on Instagram.
And Girly Brian on Facebook.
That's right.
But you can't follow me because everybody will follow me. So. But have a good night.
Okay, another one of these things. So apparently they want me to, if you like the show, send you to Twitter, whatever that is, and you are supposed to follow our pages on Twitter, and you do that by looking up at The Lost Context and at D&D LCP to follow us there. And if you like our tweets, apparently you should retweet them. Okay? Then there's also Facebook. You go on there and look up The Lost Context Podcast or The Lost Context Podcast D&D, and you find us there and like us. I mean, you already like us. So, I mean, I don't get the extra steps there, but apparently it helps us out. And then after that, there's this thing called Instagram. These things are just getting so much more ridiculous as I go on. So you go to Instagram and you follow at Lost Context Pod C. Jesus Christ. After that, if you like us so fucking much that you want to give us your hard-earned money, you go to patreon.com and you look up The Lost Context, and you will find us there, and you can give us your money, which at this point of reading this, I don't think we even deserve, but go on ahead if it makes you happy. I'm not the boss of you. Anyways, good night. Bye.